Hey everyone, this is the lovely Miss Dime, and once in a while I just like to talk to you all because I do consider you my extended family. I know a lot of people on here are looking for fame. Clearly I'm not. I think that this is when you are given an opportunity to speak and to be heard, you should do it not only for your benefit but for the community at large, because we all are family. And I want you to grow with me, and I've been on here for a couple of years now, and I feel like I have literally grown up on YouTube. You've seen the good, you've seen the bad, you've seen the ugly, you've seen me be silly on here, you've seen me chop up trolls. I was very entertained by what I did, but at the same time I spent a lot of time addressing them when I could have been moving on to something far more productive. But when you do share personal information in a forum like this, it should, like I said, it shouldn't be to be seen. It should be so that people could benefit, and maybe those who are my peers and even people older than me or younger than me may be able to benefit from what I'm going through, and then I may be able to touch someone who might be going through the same thing. I want you to know that I'm human. I hurt just like you hurt. I get scared just like you get scared. I get angry just like you get angry. And I'm right here with you. We're all walking this walk together, even though our journeys may be different. Ultimately, the goal is to live life, to be productive in the world, and to try to make a difference. As cheesy as that might sound, that's my purpose in life. Everybody's purpose may not be the same, but in general, I think that that's the true essence of life. Well, anyway, I kind of got off topic, but I'm just going to share some of what I've been going through, and hopefully, like I said, you all can benefit from what I'm going through. Like, as I've gotten older, and I'll be approaching my mid-20s in a few weeks, on 29 de Mayo, the 29th of May, and I feel a growth. I'm still the same person, just I'm maturing. And I struggled with being a yes woman a lot of my life, and not wanting to disappoint, whether it was pursuit of academics or personal decisions or not letting friends down or whatever. And a lot of that time I was unhappy because I felt like I had to hide bits and pieces of myself just to make people around me feel better, and I felt like my life was being lived for me instead of me living it and me determining what's right and wrong. Growing up under my at least under my grandparents' influence, it was a lot of right and wrong, and right and wrong was cut and dry. There was no wiggle room. It was just, this is the way it is. And I felt like a lot of my life was lived for me, but the saving grace is I'm young and I have a lot more life to live. And at this point I've realized a few things, and one of it is that you have to do you. You can't live somebody else's life. You can't aspire to have somebody else's life. You can't please everybody. Somebody is going to be disappointed. Somebody is not going to like you. Somebody is going to try to ridicule you or put your dreams down or whatever. But like I said, at the point that I'm at in life, I don't owe any explanation. I don't owe any apologies. I don't owe you. I'm not gonna bow down to anybody. I'm not kissing tail, and I'm certainly not going to be a robot or a chihuahua and you could just send me to obedience school and give me a Scooby snack so I will be in compliance and pet me and say good doggy. It's not gonna work that way. I make my decisions. People don't make my decisions for me. I do realize that you have to play by the rules, but this is my life. Nobody else is going to live it for me. Nobody is going to define what I believe to be right and what I believe to be wrong, what decisions that I want to make in my life and where I want to be. I have a much better sense of self, and I don't mind being assertive. And I realize that especially when people are used to you saying yes and being compliant or whatever, and then you come into yourself and say, no, I don't agree with it. This crosses my boundary. I have parameters and I don't want anybody to step on it. Then people are a little taken aback because they're always used to you saying yes. But that day ends. That day has ended a while ago. I'm not going to be told necessarily what my journey should be. Input is always going to be given, but the ultimate decision is mine. I don't have any children. I am not a caregiver. At this point in my life, I don't have any obligation to anybody. I don't have to answer my phone. If I choose not to, I can say no to invitations. I can say no to having a 1 hour conversation about the same things day after day, week after week, and making myself available to people. I'm allowed to unplug and recharge and take time out for self-reflection and just rest, because the way this world is, it will tire you out if you let it. And I'm not going to be beat up and beat down by life at just 24, almost 25 years old. That's sad, and it's not going to be me. When you come to a better self-understanding, you are a much happier individual, and these next however many years of my life are going to be a lot happier because I'm more comfortable with me. And if me saying no, if me asserting myself means that I'm a B, then so be it. I am going to walk in confidence and live my life and hopefully make some type of mark on this world where subsequent generations can say, well, I've been positively impacted even though she may not be around anymore. And so what if somebody has a negative opinion? So what if I'm hated? So what if people dislike me? So what if I don't fit into the mold of what you expect me to be? Did you create me? No, God did. You don't tell me what looks good on me. You don't tell me how I look to you. You can have your opinion, but at the end of the day, it's not going to shape mine. You know what? Do you. Don't waste your time jocking my life. How about you get a LIFE and don't worry about what I do, what I think, because I must be pretty darn important. And for those of you, family included, whoever you are, red, yellow, green, purple, whatever, if you are bothered by me being me, if you're bothered by my candid approach, then you know what you can do. You can suck on a 12-inch penis deep-throated like you don't have a gag reflex, suck on testicles, slurp up all the sperm, ejaculate, or whatever that you want to do, because I really don't care at this point in my life. You don't have to talk like Marsha Brady or one of the Brownie girls to be considered a nice person. I know what nice is and what it isn't. You are in this life. Your first priority is to yourself. Even Charles Darwin wrote the coined survival of the fittest. Your obligation is to make sure that you have what you need in this world. How can a sinking ship rescue another ship? And at the end of the day, you have to stand up and take care of your responsibilities. And until I have children, until I have a husband, or until I have other things in this life, I don't have any responsibilities or obligations to anyone on this earth but myself. And you know, what will be will be. I have life goals, things that I want to accomplish, and no one is going to stand in the way of it. And in terms of what attitude is with a lot of this gender war thing going on, and the perception, especially about black women with an attitude, I also always, well, for a long time, felt like I had to hold back because I didn't want to be perceived as just another sister with an attitude, or that angry black woman. You know what? Write what you want to write. Say what you want to say. I'm not angry. I made peace with the trauma and the things in my life that have bothered me. No one decides for me how I'm going to deal with it. And some manginas are threatened by somebody that's not afraid to speak their mind. There's a time and a place. There's a time to assert yourself, and you have to check people. And then there's a time where, you know what, maybe talking isn't necessary. Maybe just calming down, taking time to focus and regroup is what's necessary at that time. Strength is not always yelling. Strength is not always rolling your neck and having to prove how adult you are, how strong you are. Because if you really are all of those things, you don't have to prove it to anybody. The people that are convinced are going to be convinced. The people who are not won't. And I'm not wasting another second of my time worried about who's convinced of who I am and who's not. It's my journey, and I deserve to live it my way. And hopefully people have benefited from what I've said. Take care, love yourself, and each other too. Bye bye.